Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
You can do it. You can do it. Hey, everybody! Heshy, you got caught once again napping because we are here now on the Justed Up Heshy show in the Justed Up Heshy studios. And Heshy, I was going to give you the ball. And you didn't.
He doesn't know how to do it. He has to say, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Justin Up Heshy show. Hello, my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube fans. And I hope you're watching the clock, right?
I am watching the clock.
Good.
I know where we are.
But we have an interesting show. We're at the new Justin Up Heshy studios.
The beautiful compound here.
Welcome to our new studio. We don't have it all set up yet, but we're close to it.
How much is rent?
We even have this. We even have the sign behind us.
Listen, producer did a heck of a job. Obviously, producers.
I set up the place. It's been an interesting week.
Oh,
we have
my
a lot
goodness.
to tell you. Me and Tom have a plan, something very interesting that's coming up in the next, what is it, 6 days?
Yeah, about
7
6 days. 6 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
We have something very interesting that we're going to be doing. And then you'll be shocked what's going to be happening in 6 days. Or maybe what? How many? 30 days after that, right?
Well, like 30, 43.
With the
from
new
now.
elections.
43 from now, 37 afterwards.
Right, with the new elections coming up, we have plans, we have ideas, we have candidates that we were supporting. We are disagreeing with the big boys. They all invited us to join their club. We have people double-crossing us, backstabbing us, bugging our offices. But we're ready in this new place. They can't bug us because they don't even know where we're located.
Good.
We have it hidden.
Good.
But we're knocking it out, man. And you're going to like the show. Me and Tom have a lot to say. Yes, we're going to knock Mamdani. We're going to knock New York City. We're going to talk about, we talked about the Super Bowl. You know, I won $1,100.
You didn't say that part last week on the show.
Yeah. I won $1,100. They put me on Kalish, and as a joke, and I did something, and somehow.
Did you go to Aston at least with some of that money or what?
No. What I did was I gave the money to charity.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
You didn't get a sandwich with that?
No. I should have, right? I should have gotten something for myself.
Yeah, you should have.
But I ended. No, I did. I'm sorry. I gave $100 less because I went to the all-you-can-eat tuna place again.
Okay.
I went this week again.
On Avenue M?
Avenue M, and I started an hour late so I can make it to the finish line.
I
barely made it to the finish line, and then the dessert came. Wow.
Yeah.
You got to go to this Como place. I'm telling you, we got to put up an ad for them.
Is that related to Cuomo?
Not Cuomo. But we should be chewing on. He is a fish head, you know. He should be. God forbid if I say something bad, like sleeping with the fishes, I get in trouble, right?
But meanwhile, with the other club that you were talking about, that they had like other people with interesting histories, and they were giving them the thumbs up. Maybe or maybe not. Who knows? But obviously, that's.
People tell me about loyalty, and then they're not loyal, and I prove they're not loyal. Wow, what a city we live in. But I follow the rule. When I say, me and Tom, we were up all night. What was it, Monday night?
Monday.
Monday night. We were up all night strategizing on the next election.
We were. And
we then got an offer for the big boys to come in and help us. But we had to give in to like 3/4 of our...
And you hold on that thought, because we are now about to be joined here on the Talkline Radio Network. I want to say hello to the good people out there. First of all, on our flagship WSNR 620 AM, where Heshy always wants to be, WJPR 1640 AM in beautiful Miami, Florida. And of course, the once upon a time legendary rock and roll station, WNEW 1027 FM. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of the Just Enough Heshy Show with yours truly, Tom, and Big H himself, Heshy Tish.
Well,
Thank you for
welcome
being here.
again, all of our listeners, to our new studio. And we were telling you, we were telling the Instagram and YouTube fans and Facebook fans that, listen, we are coming up to election season. In the next 6 days, signatures are going to go out. So if you want to come help Heshy with signatures, we are running candidates ourselves.
Yes, we have some candidates
the
running.
GOP, and I'm not fighting with them. I went to their big gala event. You know, we had a big gala.
He
They
did.
charged me $500. I was going to give more. And my friend Nachman Kala, who's running,
I know
also,
Nachman Kala. I know him
right?
very
So
well.
he also gave $500.
That was nice of him.
And we were the only 4 Jews, religious Jews there. Everybody ate not
I was going to
kosher.
ask you about that.
It was in a kosher place. So I figured for $500 they would get us a nice meal.
Maybe an Essence sandwich?
Not even. They went to some takeout they gave us a little silver tray with a $2 salad for $500 while everybody was eating shrimp and buffets. I know that. And it was like a shame, you know. I was embarrassed and I couldn't even eat it. You know, it was like, I don't know, terrible.
That's not right.
I know that. So I was disappointed. I thought we'd have a nice
I was
meal.
thinking knishes, some corned beef sandwiches.
Something, you know, something use your imagination. Not
I would have got you some, like I said, corned beef.
You know how when you go to
knish.
one of these delis, they give you like this little silver tray with. That's what we had, you know. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference. I paid. So
You paid.
I
You paid.
had a fight with, as I told you last week, with El Chairman, and I apologized. I said, we're grown men. We move on. Let's make things go on. I even went over to the conservative chairman and whatever. And then I went over to the front to Mr. Blakeman, who you know, didn't even know what I was talking about. And but Nicole Malitakis was so nice. She said, "Heshy, you're always funny," because I was there, one of the first ones to help her donate.
Yes,
I spoke
she's been
to
around
the
a while.
head of the Republican State Party,
Ed Cox.
Ed Cox.
Okay.
I gave him his card. He ended up knowing it was. Most of the people on the stand knew me.
Okay.
And I went over. Everybody was taking pictures with me like I'm some celebrity. And I thought that the old news is bad news. And I let it go. And I figured, you know, we're not going to cooperate, but we're not going to fight with our GOP leaders. I got a call from the GOP man, and I'm not going to talk bad about him because I like Liam. I like him. That again, we had that we were going to run our candidate, and we wanted support. And again, with the backyard deal that was being made, I don't know what he's saying. Can you just tell us, Mr. Thing, what's wrong with him?
I see. We have breaking news. So the breaking news, the reason why the producer was yelling at me is because right now there is breaking news that Israel is carrying out.
No way.
Yep.
I was going to bring it up on the show.
Israel is carrying out a wave of airstrikes against targets in Lebanon. So I want to say this is breaking news for our audience.
Lebanon is always. I was thinking Iran.
That is major news.
No, it's not.
It is absolutely major news. And thank you to the producer, and I apologize I didn't get a chance to do it sooner.
Iran is what Lebanon we attack every single week. I drive on the border of Lebanon. Nobody's scared because Lebanon is like, they pushed into Lebanon like, I don't know, 30 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles. So Israel is well protected over there. Plus I have cousins who are stationed on the Lebanon border. So I know about that. I've been to that border and I've crossed into no man's land many times. But you're right. They're always attacking the Hezbollah. That's not Hamas, by the way. But anyways, we are in the midst of a little argument. We're going to put up, me and Tom have our own candidate for the assembly, our own candidate for the state senate. We're going out for signatures. We think this time we could win it, right?
We're going to certainly find out.
We'll
Obviously,
find out.
We'll find out.
We have an issue with the Conservative Party.
I wouldn't know much about them.
See, the problem that I have is,
Talk to me.
if you're a conservative, you recommend a conservative. If you're a Republican, you don't cross party lines unless there's nobody there. And even then, you don't cross party lines. But even if you want to cross party lines, if you cross party line one and the guy screwed you, you don't give him a second chance.
Well, I was going to ask.
Carmen Yeager last time was endorsed against my wishes by the Republican Party as a Democrat.
And I was going to bring that up.
And he promised to endorse the person. We ended up helping him collect signatures to get on the line.
Yeah.
And then during that campaign, he screwed us the persons that helped him get on the Republican line.
I was going to say that over the years, we have been running against the likes of Mr. Yeager and Mr. Felder, and it's usually been, you had said the Republican Party, which you're a member of, right? And they had actually been endorsing against you. So realistically
Right, which I
speaking,
don't understand. These
Yeah.
guys are against us. They don't give us anything. What, 1,000, 500? You're their friends. I'm friends with everybody. I'm friends with all of them on a personal level. But on a political level and on a business level, they're no good. Even when, I don't mind if somebody wants to cheat on his wife. Go ahead. I can't stop you. It's wrong, even though like half the people in America do it today here. But the point I'm saying to you is that if you're a politician, if you're a rabbi, and I keep stressing this over there, you're a person in prestigious or looked up thing, you have to act in a certain way. Anyways.
And obviously, that's some things that you may want to think about.
So that's my point. Anyways, we're going to start our show.
We
I want
are.
to give shout outs to my beautiful, to my friend, not my friend, Sergeant Peter.
They're part of the show.
Ellie. Shout outs to my granddaughter, Mira Nava.
They're part of the show. That's the part.
Leila Tamar, and of course, Benjamin Hillel, whose birthday is on Purim. We have Purim coming up.
Yes.
Purim is the day we dress up holidays, we give out free food.
Dov Hiking famously got in big trouble years ago about that. You remember that?
I also have a color face, but I painted blue with American hat, so I produce, my face is red, white, and blue, not black.
Maybe Dov Hiking should have painted his face that way.
He made a mistake,
Yeah,
that one.
I
And
understand.
then he didn't know.
Do you think he's backing Kalman Yeager this year?
Yeah, he always
Do you
does.
think he's backing Sam Sutton?
No, I don't think he does, but I don't think he's going to stop, especially when he finds out that we're in the race. I think he'll back away.
Well, I think right now you had said there's a couple of people running for Senate and Assembly. We'll have to find out.
And then, of course, I want to shout out to my beautiful grandson, Yeshua, and Ahuva, and my granddaughter, my last granddaughter, Yael Miriam, who's coming to me for Shabbos. with my
That's
son and
awesome.
daughter.
And congratulations on that. Obviously,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
shout out to Yaakov. Big shout out to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yaakov, did I tell you Yaakov graduated summa cum laude?
Now you just did.
Summa cum laude. What does that mean? I don't know what it means, but it means something good, like almost a 4.0
It means
grade
that
average.
he's special, and it means that he deserves a big shout
No,
out.
it means that it's time for him to get a job.
And it means that he may be on the show sooner.
No, he'll never be on the show.
Why not?
I want to give you my quote.
All right.
Every single thing that has ever happened in your life is preparing you for a moment that is yet to come. I said when I was going to be 40, I want to retire, 50, retire. I wanted to be elected to office. I'm now 61, and I said 62. I said, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to run for politics. But you, Tom, my good friend, my reason, the voice of reason, have
that.
been by my side for the last 7 years, solid as a rock. And I think that everything that we've gone through, we are now efficient and professional enough
I think so.
in this game that we're
Yeah.
ready to play it with the big boys and fight them, even though they offered us a deal now. And we did not accept the deal because they wouldn't compromise a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know all those details, but I
But I
certainly
gave
know.
you most of it, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't compromise. I mean, they just wanted, and make promises. But I said, every time you promise, you lied. No, this time we're not lying. So, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to agree to them. And we're ready for the battle. And we have the money, and they don't.
And I think what it came down to ultimately, is, I know we talk a lot about Mamdani and some other stuff out there, is that they have supported these same people in the past.
Over and over. And they've done nothing for the city.
Yeah.
Nothing for us.
And they've done nothing for
I
the
have
local
another
Republicans
quote.
in Brooklyn, by the way.
I have a very old famous quote.
Okay.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players.
That's a great Rush album, by
Right.
the way. From a
Do
great-
not pray for easy life. Pray to be stronger. So you're right. I'm not praying for an easy life. I never had an easy life.
No.
I always wanted to be stronger.
No, you haven't.
And I think this election, even though we're exhausted and tired, we are stronger, we are smarter, and we're ready and prepared for everything that's happened to us in the past. Every
Absolutely.
time they cheated us. We have a good lawyer. We have a good team of collecting of signatures. We're ready to object to our signatures of our competitors because we know they can't do it. They're trying to sneak onto the
Yes.
ballot. So we're ready to go. Here's my joke.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
As you know, Purim comes
Yes,
every
for sure.
year.
Yes.
So what I do is I buy gifts for my people every Purim. I give out little food baskets and candies and stuff to different people that come to me, visit me, or come eat by me. But for my family, I buy gifts. And one year I bought a bunch of presents, and our Purim is right after Linda's birthday.
Yeah.
So she knows to expect jewelry every year.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I bought a lot of presents for the family and some nephews, and I wrapped them, but I mislabeled them.
Oh.
So as everybody was opening their presents, Linda was expecting jewelry. Instead, she opened it up and she got a tiny pine tree. You know the smelly pine trees?
Yeah.
And she was looking at me like very angry. What the hell did you give me for Purim? A pine tree smelly for the car? I said, no, Linda. I said, it's a symbol of our love being fresh. She threw the pine tree at me and said, don't sleep in the bedroom. Okay.
I want to put one
I thought it
quote-
was a funny joke.
You have another joke? Because I actually
No, no,
I
that
wanted
was
to give
only
you
joke.
a quote for a change. The
Yeah.
quote that I told you, and I've been telling people about this recently. It's a quote from Muhammad Ali. And this quote, I hope everybody...
You did tell it to me.
And service is the rent you give to others for the room that you have on this earth. So you always talk about service. You always talk about helping people. And service to others is the rent for the room you have on this
By
earth.
the way, even though I'm not an Obama fan, Barack Obama did have a great quote.
Okay.
To serve your country and fellow man, you do not have to be in the military. Just go out and do and serve them by teaching them, being a teacher, going to the hospital, helping others. That's what service to this country is good.
Absolutely.
So as you know, I got moved up in the Borough Park Center as a serious volunteer.
I did see that.
And I have a video that you'll be seeing of a young boy who has Down syndrome.
I saw
and
that.
they promoted him up to be my boss.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was so happy that he's Heshy Tishl's boss, but he bosses me around, he runs me around, Ellie, and he's so happy, and I'm happy that it made him happy to be my boss and to serve the Borough Park Center, which is a great place.
Absolutely.
By the way.
I've been there.
It's clean. It's not a hospital.
No.
They have a beautiful synagogue where I've been speaking the last few weeks because I'm there Saturdays, and it's really a nice place, and they're really working good there. My sister is there now,
Yes.
with a broken femur. So it's my pleasure to serve. It's my honor to serve there. And I go there every morning, and I go in the evening, and I try. Saturday, I spend most of the day. I even slept there last Friday.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're giving you maybe some, maybe a free soda or a free drink.
No, they don't. But as a matter of fact, the lady did come to me when she was serving lunch. And she handed me a lunch tray. I said, no, I feel bad. She goes, no, I see you sitting here every Saturday. I want you to eat. I said, no, I'll go next door. She says, no, I want you to eat.
Oh, it's nice. So they treated you better than when you went to that, you said the gala where they didn't give you any food.
Yeah, at the gala, they didn't give me any food.
Yeah, that's how they are. That's how they are, those.
You understand that, and I had a friend of mine that called me today. Now you're going to say, Heshy, what are you going to complain about this week? First of all, let's start with our Mr. Mayor Mamdani.
All right.
You know we were $12 billion short in the budget. He was missing $12 billion.
Yes.
All of it, $12 billion, not 12 million, not 12,000, $12 billion. That's 9 zeros.
It's a lot of zeros.
Okay. $12 billion could educate the entire New York City children with special vouchers for 5 years.
Yep.
And I'm just telling you, that's how simple it is. And we're always having bad teachers and stuff. Really, we can fix the whole education system if I was mayor. But all of a sudden, 2 days later, Mr. Mamdani found $5 billion. Now, does this man know how to add? I mean, he's the mayor. He doesn't know that $5 billion wasn't missing. I mean, they could have lost $5 billion in the shuffle and nobody would have known about it.
Absolutely.
If somebody didn't look into it and catch it, because people did obviously, $12 billion is missing. Somebody looked it over and said, Mr. Mamdani, you made a mistake. And he gets on. He says, oh, we're only missing $7 billion. I bet you he's not even missing that. So now he decided that, to make that shortfall up, he's going to raise taxes. And he did, and he warned Hochul not to do it. You know that? He did her. The governor.
Yes, I saw.
So he's going to raise taxes, but Hochul says, no, I'm not going to do it. So what he did now was very smart. He went, which was 2 years ago, they assessed all our properties and raised all our properties. Now, they assessed all our properties by 15%. They raised it. That our property, instead of worth $2 million, it's like $2.1 million.
Right.
So big deal, Heshy. You should be happy. Now you can sell your property at a higher level.
There's a catch.
The catch is that now he's threatening us to raise all of our taxes by 9.5%. So by raising it 9.5%, you're raising it as well on the 15% assessed value.
Yep.
And that's how he's going to get his $7 billion. By screwing not only the rich, the poor, the middle class, and then he's going to find the rich tax as well. He's now had the last guy resigned from the rent control board.
Yep.
So now he's able to freeze our rents, charge us more taxes, charge us more. You know, my heating bill doubled.
Yeah.
My electric bill tripled.
I know. It's
Okay.
just-
Now, how do you want me to make a profit? Oh, too bad. Give your buildings back to the city. We'll run it. Then, like you told me, they're going to create affordable housing where?
They now want to create. I thought this
In
was
parking lots.
in parking lots of city-owned university colleges. There was a press conference.
There's no parking in the city now. So now the college kids, so he's forcing them to take.
So what he's doing is, like, for example, there was a press conference at the College of Staten Island where Vito Fossella, a former congressman here in Brooklyn, now the borough president, had come out and he was deadpanned against it because the traffic nightmare, first of all, you're creating, because all those parking spots were designated for kids to go in there. But also, how are you now going to assess people in and out of these schools and then have people on top of them?
And not only that, those people have cars as well. You're going to put into affordable housing. I want more parking lots in the city of New York. You know, the municipal parking.
Mamdani wants less
Right.
because there's a whole bunch of different
But there's
cities.
so many places to create affordable housing in the Bronx and in Yonkers. And these are local places where you can take trains. Brownsville, which is decrepit.
And that was the point at the... I'm glad you brought
Staten Island. But you want only Midtown Manhattan. You want the poor to live with the rich. That's so nice of you.
But
That's
the point was made. I'm glad you brought that up in the press conference, which
but I'm saying make the depreciating properties.
But you do it.
better.
But you do it where people can get to and from. And I think the point was made with
We can get to
Fossella.
it everywhere in the city.
Like he talked
you
about
can get
this,
anywhere in the city
right?
today.
But to do it in far-flung areas where...
What's far flung? Brownsville is Brooklyn, not far flung.
But I don't think on college campuses.
Right, on college campus is stupid.
They should not put
Yeah, for
affordable.
whole
You think?
First Avenue, Staten Island. How many bad neighborhoods you have in Staten Island? What's it called? Degentrifying? What's it called again?
Gentrification?
Degentrification. So you're upset we're taking crappy neighborhoods, the developers, and making them into better white or middle class black
Well,
or Asian
even
neighborhoods. But you're upset about
Right.
it. So why don't you take the bad neighborhoods and degentrify them? Okay, but you're staying away from them for some reason. I'll tell you why. Subway crime in 5 weeks that he's mayor, 5 weeks, not 12 weeks, has doubled. I say doubled because it went from 210 crimes on the train to about 430. They're saying it's only up by 17%.
Only up by 17.
Only up to 17%.
Yeah.
So you took it, and you know what they're blaming it on? It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. That's why crime is up. Are you crazy?
So what's gonna happen in June when it's up even further? Oh, it's hot.
Right, it's hot. It's cold. People are out too much.
It's a great Katy Perry song, "Hot and Cold." But
Right.
I mean, you know.
I'm just telling you right now, it's like really crazy.
Absolutely. Listen, these ideas, and I just want to go back to Mamdani because he did tell you that was his plan. So people are freaking out now all of a sudden.
But when the trains become free, you'll see more gang members, more people on the trains, more crime out there. There's no way this man is doing a good job, and I have to be ready to run for mayor. I know he will be the incumbent. Do you think anybody will run against him?
Do you think that the Republicans...
Usually nobody. No, the Republicans always put up a loser.
I was going to say, do you think they'll cross-endorse Mamdani?
For sure not. But they always put up a loser. My
They
question
basically
to you
did
is,
with the last guy who ran.
Will the Democrats put up anybody?
I think that there'll be some Democrats at primary, but Mamdani's the incumbent. I think
Usually there's never. That's why I didn't understand Adams, why he was scared to run as a Democrat. He could have beat Mamdani.
I think we talked about this last year on the show, and I think
He was scared of Cuomo, not Mamdani.
But I think Adams had too many flaws. Remember, we had
Still, he would have beaten Mamdani. Cuomo was he scared, and you see that people hated Cuomo so much that they went for Mamdani. That's what the real.
I
reason
think
is.
ultimately Adams, he had a lot of issues himself.
Okay,
and that was
again,
his
we always
downfall.
have people-
But he's the reason why we have Mamdani.
Yeah,
he is the reason we have the
He's the
Mamdani.
reason why we had Mamdani. So I'm thinking,
Yes.
if I could win a small elected office now, I'll be ready to run for mayor.
I mean,
I would
obviously, we
really
have to
consider
see
it.
if that's
But
something
again, I
you
have
want
to
to
be
do.
elected. You have to come out to win.
You have to see.
You know, I have people calling me, Heshy, how come the streets are still not shoveled? I said, I shoveled my blocks. Why did you only get your block shoveled? I said, well, I shoveled the main ambulance ways. I
Right.
made sure my friends who had shovels to come down certain
Mm-hmm.
streets to help. So I got some streets shoveled. My point I'm trying to tell you is
Mm-hmm.
that you're coming to me, but you didn't elect me. You don't want me in power, and then you come to me with your issues. Oh, I need a room in the hospital, Heshy. Yes, I'm a volunteer. I can get it for you. You know, I have political guys. My mother's friend is stuck there. Heshy, call me. I said, but when I need your support or help, you don't help me. You know what
I
mean?
couldn't agree with you more.
Heshy, I wanted you help with my house. Then he got stuck again. They went somewhere else. Now a guy calls me today. He solved all the problems, but Heshy, but there's no way we're going to pass inspection. I said, but you gave the work to somebody else. What do you want to pay me a discounted fee? You know, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't mind helping you, but if you support me, I can help you. But you know, I'm not going to give up. But I think I'm ready for the big fight now. I'm ready for the big run, and I'm not going to talk bad about. Even though the Conservative Party, if February 24th starts the signatures, they still haven't endorsed anybody. The Republican Party hasn't endorsed anybody for state senate. We're going to endorse the last minute. And then they're warning me, we don't want anybody to go on a conservative line that Heshy's going to run. But you haven't endorsed anybody yet. And then you don't even call me. You call somebody else, you know, to warn me or threaten them that if they help me, they're in
So
trouble.
my line would be that it's America, and if people would like to run and they certainly meet qualifications, then it's America.
Well,
And
we
you-
found
and I-
the right candidates for the Republican line, for the conservative line, and Democratic line. The old man, Mr. Sam Sutton, is not even in the campaign, but you're going to see his people come out for him. But his people call me the most. His Syrians call me
I'm
the
not
most.
surprised at that, but I'll tell you this much. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you've run in the past, regardless of what your future plans may or may not be this year. You've run in the past, and you were not endorsed by any political party, and you still made the ballot.
Yeah.
And it is America.
We've learned that
And-
they knew how to knock us off the ballot. We learned how to fight them. They knew how to sue us for money. We learned how to get legal and figure out, because that's what I do. They then tried to trick us with addresses and try to knock off our petitions. Our petitions became solid as a rock.
Yes.
But again, we have a good team, and we always need volunteers and always.
But I want to go back to
come out for us.
Mamdani because I want to go back to this property tax. Okay?
Yeah.
You talked about the crime issue. And I'm curious because he's going to need a city council to sign off on this. Remember, the city council has to balance a budget with the mayor. And
Most
that's
of the city council's on his side. He only has 2 or 3 people against him for this. That's the problem. And
But the city
Republican-
council speaker, who's a Democrat, came out today and said she was against it.
Right.
So that's why I bring that up to you, even though, yes, I agree that the majority of the elected members are certainly Democrats, overwhelmingly, but there are Democrats even that don't support a property tax hike, because you have to remember,
It's their poor people who own homes are going to be affected by this.
right,
as
and
well.
that's why I think the property tax hike is
That's
a
why I
different.
don't understand the rent freeze, because a lot of these homeowners have tenants, and by making them freeze the rent, you're screwed.
That I agree with you on that you would be screwed, but I think a property tax hike is one that's a very steep hill to climb for a lot. That's why I think council members, even Democrat ones, even ones that may have supported Mamdani, I think are going to have a very difficult time going back to their district and explaining
Yeah.
to their constituents how.
No, they're not
that-
going to. They're just going to. You know, and
Although
you're
I
gonna-
will say that this council member here is in New Jersey, so he
Right,
won't
this
be
council member doesn't even live here.
He's in New Jersey,
Yeah.
so but I do think with the city council speaker coming out against that, I do think that it's a negotiating chip, because you hit the nail on the head a few minutes ago, where I think ultimately what Mamdani really wants is Hochul to raise taxes
Right.
on the wealthy,
Right.
and that's where I think
And
the issue.
you know, during the campaign, and which I'm against anyways.
Yes.
Mamdani says he's going to leave the encampments for the homeless alone.
Yes, we
Let
talked about
them
this in
be
previous
there.
episodes.
He sees how bad it is. So now what he did was he reversed his campaign promises
Yes.
and made encampment sweeps. You see, this Mamdani cannot do anything. He cannot even help the homeless on the streets. If the encampments are there, make them more livable, bring them bathrooms, bring them heaters. But you know that's not possible in the streets of New York.
No.
Okay? So he does not know what he's doing. How
No.
is he doing the first 100 days? Let me tell you how he's doing. A terrible job. His budget is off. His crime is up. Nobody's saying
We
a
haven't
word.
even got to 50 yet. We're
Yeah.
at 49 days.
And nobody's saying a word about this. During the winter storm, no control. He's lucky he only had one storm. Okay, like de Blasio, he messed it all up. People couldn't park. And he was issuing tickets during the storm. You're right, alternate side was adjourned, but if people
Alternate
parked a
side
little
just
bit
came
because
back.
of the snow into the curb or into the walkway, boom, you were dead. You know, you got a ticket. Or if your car slipped because of the icy conditions, the red light camera gave you a ticket. I mean, this is like non-stop idiosyncrasies. The man has no control, and he's stupid. And you know what else he
What?
did? They're trying to fight. One of the first things he did was he reversed that we shouldn't buy bonds or stuff from Israel. You know
I
what
did
mean?
see that.
I mean, and you know who they put in charge of this to fight him? Ina Vernikova, and she's on the MI. She's not even around half the time. She gets up on the television and screams anti-Semitism. I'm not knocking her, but she has, again, another idiot you put into power who wants to be a judge. I mean, you know what I have a problem is
What?
these judges today, when you're doing the rents and somebody doesn't want to pay, they cause damage. And I'm going to tell you a story.
Tell me.
And these judges tell you, I'm not going to evict them for 2 years. So what we have to do is we have to, instead of spending $10,000 or $20,000 on a lawyer, we now offer this money to the tenant. And say, look, it's going to cost us legal money. It won't cost you
Right.
because you get these free lawyers from the courts,
Legal aid, yeah.
legal aid. We'll give you the money now. And then they get greedy and they double whatever offer we give them. They want not 20,000 or 10,000 to move out, 30, 40,000. And then when you give them the money, they want another 5 or 6,000. There's a lady that we're fighting who tricked her landlord into an apartment, decided to stop paying rent. Then she said that she has money and she needs a lawyer to help her. The landlord didn't give her one. She got angry. She calls the cops on him in the middle of the night saying there's no heat. When she controls her own heat. She has electric heaters. The cops saw it. And you know what the cops told them?
What?
Sorry, we're not gonna arrest her for false complaint. Stay away from her. But she just made a false complaint. You see
Right.
that she's lying.
Absolutely.
You know, I have a guy who called on me in one of the buildings. No front door light, no hallway light. I swear, I saw it on HPD. Everybody in the building says they didn't call in the lights, but you know me, I'm not a slumlord. I have maid service
Absolutely.
coming and I give them internet and cable. So somebody, of course, wanted some more money.
You had a
from-
tenant, by the way, in a previous location that I think was getting those things from you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A previous tenant that had maybe done some work for you, construction,
Yeah.
plumbing.
Yeah, yeah.
You were very generous.
I'm very
with that
generous to
individual.
them. And again, the
You remember
greed
Ring a Bell?
and the filth. But it's not that I'm angry that they want more. But we give them, some of us landlords do give them more. You keep saying we're the West landlords. I have a landlord right now that has 30 violations, you know, for nothing.
Wow.
And she fixed it. One lady landlord that this tenant moved in to her apartment, then he created his apartment into two, rented it out illegally as an SRO.
Yep.
When he stopped paying rent, he called HPD. HP violated him for having an illegal SRO and an illegal occupancy, which he created himself. And the landlord's trying to evict him, and there's nothing we could do about it. Nothing we could do about
So
it.
let me ask you a question. So I was speaking with a property owner, and the property owner was talking with me, and the property owner had said that, well, Mamdani's plan is to raise the property taxes the way he wants, and to get landlords to either sell their buildings and give it over to the city, or
right.
to burn the buildings down and turn it into the 70s.
Right.
What do you think about it? You're a landlord.
So again, I'm selling what I got because I can get top market price right now, and I know that things are going to happen bad.
Okay.
And now I'm seeing that people are selling their buildings cheap because some of them are too desperate. They want to get out quickly. And that's the problem here is you're messing up our whole economy, that you're just not letting us survive. You're not letting us get a break. You're depleting our savings, and we have no choice because if we don't run the building correctly, we'll get fined and punished till we get rid of it or turn it over to the city. And now with the new law, with Mamdani's new law, that the city, that you have to offer your building to a nonprofit or to the city for 6 months before you can sell the building, is a shame.
Absolutely. We talked about that on previous episodes.
That means it's like you're in a shoe store, and the shoe store owner, you come in to buy shoes, he's going to say, look, this is the shoe you can buy, but you can't have it now for 6 months. You know? It's crazy. I want to tell you something else even crazier.
Oh, boy.
There's a lady suing YouTube. Mark
I heard
Zuckerberg.
about this.
Why? Because her child is addicted to YouTube, and YouTube created this program, and they knew that it would be addicted. You know, lollipops are addicted. I'm addicted to lollipops.
Oh, really?
People are addicted to certain foods. They're addicted to certain television. You know, television is a very big addiction. You're not suing the networks.
Oh.
Now, as a parent, if you're upset that your child is addicted to YouTube or TikTok or whatever, take away their phone. Block their YouTube account. You could do that. You know, they're home most of the time. Maybe when they're in school, they'll watch YouTube, but I doubt they will. When they go to their friends, you watch YouTube. So you don't let them go to friends that parents allow this.
Right.
You are the parent. You're giving them a phone. Take it away from them if they're addiction, or you didn't teach them correctly. You know, my grandchildren are addicted to the a certain called piggy. I forgot pork.
Well, my 7-year-old niece gets on the phone from 8 o'clock in the morning, and it drives me crazy because I can't take a couple hours of a nap, and plays Roblox.
Right.
And I think that a 7-year-old should not be on a phone screaming
But
at another kid playing Roblox.
I
So
allow
that's to
my
your point.
granddaughter to use it, but for a half hour to an hour.
Okay.
Just like when my children were in my house, I did let them watch television. I did let them play with the computer.
And you let one go to Florida too, right? Recently.
Right, okay, but stop making that joke. But I did let them play with it. But then there was a time where it was shut off time at night. There was disconnect the cable for a month because they misbehaved.
Right.
I took away their bicycle. I took away their cell phone. I did not allow them to go to friends, even though they screamed and hollered and and they threatened. And then of course I gave in half the time. But that's what a parent is supposed to do. You're supposed to give in. You're supposed to love your child. But again, sometimes you just have to show them, hey, let's fight about it. And again, they know they don't want to have a fight either with you, so they want to behave and do the right thing.
Right. I think it's a different time, like when.
But suing YouTube for your child being addicted to video, I don't know. It's crazy.
It's a different world,
Now, when you brought up the Lebanon.
Yes, Israel is
Okay, so Lebanon is standard. I'm just telling you now that I know one thing, that Israel and America are joining forces ready to attack Iran. Now,
yes, I've heard a lot about that. What do you think?
What I heard was that the White House declined to comment on any firm timeline for diplomacy with Iran, but I know Iran walked away. As the U.S. continues its military buildup in the Middle East, meanwhile, Israel raised its alert level amid growing indications of a potential joint U.S.-Israeli Israel attack on Iran. Israel sources told CNN Iran is fortifying several of its nuclear facilities, according to satellite images. So I'm just telling you that that's the one. The problem is I'm going to Israel on April 22nd for Linda's mother's 1 year passing away.
I was there.
And I got myself finally to a category called Platinum Pro. Platinum Pro allows me to upgrade for free without paying.
Okay.
Those tickets are like $8,000 or $10,000, and I bought myself a cheap ticket with a broken seat. I guess they're gonna give me and a kosher meal that's disgusting. But if I get upgraded,
but they can't give you normal meals. What's wrong with this?
I know. It's El Al Airlines has its own kosher kitchen, and the meals are delicious. It's not complicated.
So are you worried? Potentially, with what's
I'm not
going on
worried
in the
about
East?
the war. I'm not worried about being Israel. I'm not flying, but I know that due to concerns with the FAA and every single country, they might stop us flying. Or when we're there, we can get caught in the country and not be able to come back. But in Israel, I know even during the war, I was there during the war. I never had issues flying in and out. I was there during the war when people were stuck in the country. We all traveled around. Even though the bombs came in for a day, people flew, 10 minutes later, everything was back to normal. People were at the resort towns, going to the beaches. So again, those people are unsophisticated, and I know that Israel could blow them away. And I don't know why we were like days away from conquering Hamas and closing up the Hamas Gaza Strip. The world stopped us. Why did the world stop us? They always do that. Even in the 67 war, we conquered our Arab neighbors, and they stopped us from taking over. They were in Damascus. We took over the entire Syria, and we had to give it back. And you're all upset about the 67 borders, about the West Bank. We gave back Syria to where it belongs. We gave Egypt back the Sinai Desert, and we were in Egypt. You know that we were already in Cairo. We took over those countries in 67. We had the whole place conquered. We didn't have to give it back to nobody. But we gave it back, and we kept a little bit for ourselves as buffer zones. That was really a prime Israel proper to begin with.
I want to ask you something though. When it comes to the situation with Iran and the U.S. getting involved specifically, there seems to be this divide between the Trump base, the MAGA types. And,
They don't understand.
Now, that's what I want to ask you.
People
on that.
think that Iran is a danger only to Israel. No, Iran with their nuclear weapons is a danger to America. They can their ballistic missiles travel thousands of miles. Okay, right now it's hundreds of miles, but they're working on getting it to travel seriously. And if they have a nuclear bomb, let's put it this way, they just put it on an airplane and they fly. You're right, we'll intercept them. But again, they just make it to Europe, which is not far from them. They make it to Cyprus. They make it to any other Middle Eastern country, which is Africa even, or you know what I mean? Or they could just drop the bomb and blow everything up with one stupid bomb. So yes, there are a danger to America. And then if they have this power, we're not going to attack them. They're going to start, they capture ships. They hijack ships. They hijack prisoners. They hang people. They could be a danger.
Oh, we've talked about this the last few weeks.
But it's not the point of stopping them. They've shown that they're a bunch of animals. So they have to be stopped in the tracks. They are a danger to the American tourists that go to Syria, they go to Saudi Arabia, that go to all the Middle Eastern countries, to Morocco. They are a danger. And the boats that travel through to other Middle Eastern countries, they can stop them. Unacceptable. And don't think for a minute, you don't hear a word from Egypt that's complaining that we're attacking Iran. You don't hear a word from Saudi Arabia, okay, or I forgot what is it? Jordan. None of them complain about
Jordan's right there.
Who complains about it? Qatar, just because they're worth billions and they want Israel to Iran not to bother them. Iraq doesn't really complain, but they don't defend anybody. Turkey.
Well, Iraq's, we know the history of
and
Iraq.
Turkey's selling them all this nuclear crap and weapons. So that's why they're not complaining about it. So that's my point. That's why America is getting involved, not just to protect America. They might be able to get a plane through the airspace.
But I think it's fascinating that the Trump base, not anybody else, there seems to be a divide. And you would think, right, America first, right?
Yeah.
Trump's America first. Well, then wouldn't defending our sovereignty be American first? If you say, which I agree with you, by the way, I do agree that Iran getting a nuclear weapon is a threat to the world, not just America.
To the world.
To the world. And that's why I would...
Just imagine he blows up one European city. Just
Absolutely.
one. Forget 1 million people, 100,000 people, 200,000 people die. The fallout of the nuclear waste is going to kill another 1 million people over the years.
Chernobyl
and
times
then
10.
Forget that the air that's blowing over will even reach other European cities. It might not make it to the Atlantic American coast, but it's bad enough, and it could affect a lot of the food in the ocean itself.
Absolutely.
So I don't understand you people. I don't hear you screaming at the UN. I don't hear you screaming that all you're screaming is at Trump creating war. I would love to get in the Senate. I would put them in their place, but people are scared. President Barack Obama, by the way, you know what he said?
What?
Former President Obama is urging the Democratic Party to invest in younger candidates if it wants to come out victorious in 2026 midterm. So he believes that most likely the Democrats will not take over the Senate or the House with the people they have there.
I think the Senate is going to be very uphill.
And for us or for the Republicans or for the Democrats?
I think the Democrats for the Senate. I think the Democrats are going to take the House.
I don't think so.
I think they are because of redistricting. Because Trump, I'm blaming Trump on this because Trump started this stupid thing with redistricting. And after Texas, California, Gavin Newsom redrew. You've seen now Virginia, they're looking to redraw. And now Indiana, they backed out. And it just seems to be, and now Hakeem Jeffries talked about that he wants the Democrats to redraw Colorado, Pennsylvania, and Washington. Trump should not have opened his mouth. Okay. Why? So I think the Democrats are going to take the House. This set's going to be uphill.
But even Obama says that Biden was who took over the presidency at 78 was too old, and people are agreeing that there should be, if you're not going to have term limits in the Congress and the Senate, which I agree there should be,
absolutely,
at least have an age limit.
What would be your age limit? What would be the age you put?
I would put 65, 70 at the most. Right. Now, why 70? Because that's when your Social Security ends. Now, judges who turn 70 years old in the state must retire in New York. So you know what the new trick is? At 69, they get chosen to the federal judgeship.
Yeah.
And then they get a job for
that.
life. The judges, again, federal judges should also be term limited. You know, only the Supreme Court should be for life because they create the laws. And even then, I agree, Supreme Court should.
I'm a believer in term limits. All my life, I've believed that there should be term
The
limits.
Supreme Court is a problem because it's so hard to nominate through the Senate and the Congress, so you can't keep changing judges.
But I think other positions, like you said, at lower levels of government, I think there should be term limits.
The Constitution says that if a judgeship or an attorney generalship is not filled, the local Senate or Assembly or City Council can choose the replacement, even if it's temporary. In the Supreme Court, you cannot choose a temporary Supreme Court justice.
No.
So
There's
that's
no
why
acting.
maybe I agree on the Supreme Court. But again, on the Supreme Court, there should be an age limit as well.
And what would your age limit be at the federal level for Supreme Court?
I would-
75?
I would say 75, 80. And then just as a gift, and yeah, pick judges who are in their 50s and 60s that serve 20 years. Serving 30, 40 years in a job, I know you're very smart. And most of those Supreme Court justices have the decisions written up by their clerks.
I'll go even further. Do you think that there should be an age limit at all levels of government?
Yeah, except for the presidency.
But I mean, if you think about it, why is somebody who's 80 years old still in an elected position? Shouldn't that be? Wasn't
The only position that I believe should not have any age limit is the presidency. Why? You know, every job. You know, I heard this funny joke by what's his name?
Rob Schneider?
Not Rob Schneider, the Jewish guy. You know, I forgot.
Gutfeld?
You know, he died recently.
Jackie Mason?
Jackie Mason.
I remember Jackie Mason.
He says, you know, a plumber needs to pass a test. A barber needs a license and needs to, you know, you need to have a college degree to even drive an Uber, I think, today or something like that. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
Okay, or to be an expert.
Our buddy Josh is one.
Whatever.
I'll ask him.
The point I'm trying to make to you, President, you can come out of a mental institution and be elected. Really?
Yeah.
That's how simple. Every other job needs to have a license, like a lawyer, a doctor, a plumber, a contractor needs to have a license. President could be anyone. But I agree, presidency is chosen by the entire government, by the entire country. It's not only made by electoral vote, but it is with the popular vote. Because without the popular vote, you can't get the electoral vote.
Although the Democrats want to get rid of the electoral vote.
Again, hundreds of millions of people come out to vote.
Yes.
So I believe that the presidency, anybody should be able to run at any age limit because the people are not stupid.
Well,
even
it's
though-
35 for president. You have to be 35. to
Yeah,
run.
that I agree. There shouldn't be. There should be an age. You can't have a 20 like AOC. They're all toting her to run for president. You really want this stupid, dumb, idiot, whorish, a woman who slept around bartender? I mean, did you hear some of her questions she asked in Congress? It's
I
like
try not to watch.
I try not to watch either, but sometimes it pops up on YouTube that I'm addicted to, or TikTok, and I
Are you
scratch-
suing YouTube because you're addicted to YouTube?
I don't know. A federal immigration judge dismissed deportation proceedings against Moshin Mahdawi,
Oh, God.
who organized pro-Palestinian activisms against Columbia University. Now, they arrested him. They put him into a camp.
Okay.
And then they freed him. You know, they let him go. Now he's dismissing all of the cases. I don't know why. Why? I mean, he did protests that are illegal. He doesn't have his green card. He's only here as a student. It's over. Now you just graduated. Get the hell out.
Absolutely.
No, they're letting him stay here.
And I'm assuming that would be a liberal judge, right?
Yeah,
Some leftist
a
judge
Democratic.
who was appointed by Obama?
Yeah.
I mean, you could read between the lines.
And this is what I was telling you before. The city council members sued Mamdani over the repeated Israel-related order that attorney Jack Lester is suing the city to compel the release of records about Zohan Mamdani's first executive actions.
Okay.
First thing, what he did was, which included the revocation of his predecessor's pro-Israel anti-Semitism related orders. Right away.
You know,
He didn't go after cars, taxes.
No.
His first executive order, not COVID, not medical, anything. Go after Israel. I understand. What are you so busy with Israel?
You know, I hate to say it again. I've said this a few times since Mamdani got elected, even though we spoke about him at the very beginning of the show. But I think some people will miss Eric Adams, and those are reasons why.
I don't miss
part
de
of it.
Blasio. I don't miss Eric Adams. I miss that you put in the wrong person for mayor, and there was nobody running. Cuomo was the wrong person. Mamdani's the wrong person. Adams was an idiot. He shouldn't have been reelected. I was happy that he wasn't going to be reelected. And Sliwa was the best of the four, but he wasn't qualified for the job.
No, Swila, he should not have run.
Okay,
Swila,
we should have had somebody else run, and there was other people, but they didn't know how to run. If it was me, I would have done a great job. I promise you, I would solve the city's problems, not the first 100 days. I know you're saying, oh, Trump said the same thing. Trump did a great job till now. You're right, he didn't solve the Ukraine thing. Not everybody can fix everything. You know, sometimes I promise to help people all week long. I promise to feed everybody. I promise to visit the sick on Saturdays. And sometimes I don't make one, or sometimes I miss an appointment, or sometimes I get tired myself. So you're right, not everything that you promise to work out works. So I understand that. So you're right, if Mamdani messed up on one or two things, but he's just messing up across the board.
But he did tell everybody what he was going to do.
But wasn't he defunding the police now? What is he doing?
Well, actually, it's even worse. So there's supposed to be 5,000 new NYPD hirees.
How, if you're defunding?
And he wants to now cut them. He says because of the budget, he wants to get rid of them. And that if he doesn't get what he wants...
What he should be doing is cutting the DOB budget, cutting the HPD budget, cutting the Department of Finance budget that does nothing for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's not cutting them. He ain't cutting them. You know, you and I both know that. He's not cutting that.
He should be cutting the sanitation, not the sanitation workers, but all their management and ticket. You know, the sanitation have their own police and their own ticket force?
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Don't you have the regular ticket people? We have enough of it. Why do you duplicate and triplicate our forces? You know what I mean?
Well, I think you know the answer.
Yeah.
You know the answer. That answer is to raise money.
So the two city council members who signed on, just two of them,
well,
Vicky Palladino
it's 5
and
Republicans,
right.
But 2 of them, I hear you talk about
Vinny
that.
Palladino and Ina Vernikova have been accused of Islamophobia, which is not true. Vernikova has been appointed to lead the city council's new anti-Semitism task force. I'd like to know what she's going to do to lead this task force. What, send emails? Is she getting any manpower?
Instagram
Is she
posts?
getting Instagram posts? Is she getting any donations? Does she have volunteer? You know, we have in Borough Park volunteer security running around the Sherm. Is she doing that in her neighborhoods? Is she getting together security people across the city? Because where she lives in Borough Park and Flatbush, my safety team protects her. We give her. She's never donated.
I never seen her in Borough Park and Flatbush.
She's given 1,000. You know, she only by election day she comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm with you. Devil's in the details.
Yeah.
You know, devil's in the details.
Anyways, our show is coming to the end.
Well, we got about another 8 or 9 minutes. Right. I do want to also say, if you're out there and you want to write to Heshy, justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Hit the sub button for him at justenoughheshy 7005. Also, want to shout out to my buddy, Mr. Joseph Rosas, who was certainly very, very much interested about your answer about Iran. I think that answers that. And I also want to talk to you, but there was a rumor about Tucker Carlson was detained by Israel security.
Not true.
What do you think about Tucker Carlson? Because this guy,
Tucker might be a nut, but I still like the way he speaks.
But it seems to be there's a segment of the Trump base, and I hate to say it because I know how much you love Trump, that it seems to be, I don't want to say anti-Semitic, but certainly anti-Israel and just concerned about what Israel's doing, and they shouldn't be.
The Jews are less than 2% or 0.02% of the world population.
Yeah.
And you all scream about us that we own everything, we do everything, we own real estate, we run Hollywood. Let me just explain to you something. When we wanted jobs, we wanted to be doctors, you wouldn't let us into your medical school. So we started our own.
Good.
You wouldn't let us use your hospitals. So we started our own hospitals, which are the best hospitals that you come to, that you need. We started our own colleges. Now you come and use our colleges.
Torah Law, Yeshiva.
Forget Torah, Brooklyn. I mean, just go across the board. Yeshiva. So, I mean, it's called, Yeshiva.
And the basketball team, but I gotta shout out the men's basketball team. They have been
terrible.
good. They're great.
Yeah.
They've been nationally ranked.
Finally.
They were number 1 a few years ago.
Wow.
They were number 1 in the NCAA Division III.
But I'm just telling you, we had to become a salesman because you wouldn't give us jobs, and we created Hollywood. It's not that we own Hollywood. You wouldn't let us in the entertainment field. You wouldn't let us on the stages, maybe one or two. So what did we do? We created our own entertainment. We came up with movies, and look what we did. We have it nationwide. So you're upset that we own what we took. You want to now take away what we did. We fought. We one of the first developers. Even though America was building, J.P. Morgan and all these people, but they were pigs. They hoarded for themselves. We're the ones who bought the steel, built the buildings. Yes, we worked.
And I want to say goodbye to our listeners on the Talkline Radio Network. Thank you very much for being
WSNR.
here. Our flagship 620 WSNR AM, WJPR
Come back next week,
1640.
and we're going to surprise you because we're collecting signatures next week already, right?
Well, yes.
On what? On Monday or Tuesday?
That will be a Tuesday. We certainly don't want to tell everybody where and how and when.
But on Tuesday, we'll give you the secret of our petitions.
Well, we'll find out. I wouldn't necessarily give that secret out yet to anybody. But what I would say is definitely stay tuned. And speaking of Hollywood, while we have a few more minutes left on the show, Robert Duvall died.
I heard that. He wasn't old.
95.
Yeah, he was?
He was 95.
Wow.
95.
My favorite. He wasn't one of my favorite, but he was one of my favorite evil actors.
Yes.
He knew how to be evil in a quiet way. Some of them scream and holler. He was like great. There was another, Charles Bronson I loved. I liked the old time. I liked, even though they didn't like him.
Different actors though, Charles Bronson, Robert Duvall.
Who ran the Sundance?
Robert Redford.
I loved Robert Redford. Yep. I thought he was like the coolest actor out there.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I don't know. A lot of those actors I liked. I liked... the
generation that's passing.
It's a generation that's passing.
Bruce Willis is very sick, by the way.
I know that. I thought there were people saying he should have died already. And also, what about, what's his name again? The guy from, the young guy... Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox has had Parkinson's,
right.
And then also
and he's doing pretty well for 30 years.
He's been fighting,
yeah.
And also I want to bring up James Vanderbeek had died from Dawson's Creek, but not probably your kind of show. But when I was growing up, Dawson's Creek was a big thing. Dawson's Creek. He passed away, unfortunately.
See, he thinks I don't know the shows. He thinks I only watch Star Trek. By the way, I was going to ask you. I watched a preview for a new Star Trek movie.
Yeah, there is something coming out. It's like funny you mentioned that
with the old characters, not the old characters,
right?
But the name of the old characters.
Yep,
not like a new Star Trek version, Generations. I like that. I like this. What's his name? Chris something. What's his name?
Chris Pratt.
He's the captain.
So Chris Pratt's the one you're referring to,
right? And the guy who plays Spock, the new. I like the whole new. Even though the Chekhov character died, in a car crash.
Yes,
I don't know how they're going to explain that.
They'll find a way. But it's funny.
Did the movie come out yet, or is it just?
No, it has not come out yet.
I'm dying to see.
What I did want to say is, I'll make you laugh. I'm going to take
Linda out for $20, $40. It's going to the movies is $100.
Tell me about it.
It's a cheap date, and because pizza night cost us $100 too.
Pizza. Listen, but I gotta tell you, I did an interview a few weeks ago with a guy who actually is doing a project with you'll never believe it. William Shatner. He's still alive.
He's 90. He's great. Yes. I watch him on TV.
You want to be shocked? He's doing a heavy metal album this year.
William Shatner is just never stops working.
96.
Feels great. I mean, he looks young. He keeps going there. He makes fun of himself, and but why is he still working? Why isn't he retired?
He loves to work.
But what's he doing with all this money?
You said at the beginning of the show, I was 40, I was going to retire. 50, I was going to retire. 60, but you're still going out there.
But I couldn't retire because I needed to pay bills. I didn't want to have holes in my shoes. I didn't want to go on welfare Medicaid. William Shatner is worth millions of dollars. If I would have earned the money that he would have, I would have been, I have a friend that sent me a picture of him laying on the beach drinking pina colada. Says, Heshy, this is your dream. Look what I'm doing. I texted him. I hope he chokes on the ice.
Boy, we hope that's not a constituent. But no, listen, I think
he happens to be a constituent. He wasn't in my district till now. And I'm going to need a donation.
I mean, look, some people,
I
think they just want to go out there and serve their community.
I got you. I got you. Well, I want everybody to know that I'm so happy you joined me.
Yes.
Tom, thank you coming again to the new studio.
Yeah, what a studio here,
And
the
we're gonna
palatial
we're
compound.
going to turn the shows into live shows. Yes, this show was pre-recorded. Because,
Usually you tell me not to say that,
I know, but I had no choice to say. But it's at the end of the show. Nobody knows about
we
it.
actually still have a minute, but the producer said don't say that, and he was
It's not pre-recorded for the
But the
Instagram.
producer's telling us for our YouTube audience and our Talkline Radio
Why?
Network.
Why can't I tell anybody?
Because he was saying that you had done such a great job in allowing
Well,
you
I
to
had
go to
no time to
Florida,
post the link.
and that he had felt that
Anyways,
you
play
should
that
do
music,
it. We
say
actually
goodbye.
still have another minute, but
Well, let him play the music.
Boy, I would say we should keep going. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hit the sub button for Heshy, and also if you're out there, do give him an email, justinfheshy@gmail.com. And if you're by the Borough Park Rehab Center in beautiful Borough Park, stop by. Buy Heshy a sandwich. Stop and say hello to him. Also, say hello to his supervisor, brother, because his supervisor out there has got a lot of energy. He may be replacing us on the show. And also, big shout out to everybody else that has been here with us. And tell your friends. Have them tell their friends.
Wow, you want to use
and
up that whole minute.
can continue to do what he does best, which is give you that. You know what? If you're out there and you want a guest, email us who you want to see come on the show. Maybe it could be different people. Maybe you want to see Larry Sharp, who's running for governor. Actually talks about
wow.
Blakeman, but Larry Sharp's out there. He's running for governor.
Does he have a chance?
You know what? People have said to you in the past, you have a chance. I say, why not let Larry Sharp go out there and run? Why not let the other people come out there and don't be told by anybody that you should run or shouldn't run. You do what you want to do because it's America, and God bless America. God bless Israel and Hashem, and thank you everybody, and can't wait for Purim. This show is right.
Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show